Welcome back. Now, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, says some youths who trade in cryptocurrencies do not know that they are being used to fund terrorism in Nigeria. Olukoyede spoke on Wednesday during a multi-stakeholders national dialogue on preventing terrorism financing and violent extremism. While expressing worry over the dimension of terrorism financing, terrorism financing has taken, Olukoyede disclosed that the EFCC has discovered that some of the 1,146 bank accounts recently frozen by the Commission, other than Binance, were conduits for terrorism funding. He further disclosed that the EFCC is settling actually for the use of technology to combat illicit flow of monies into the hands of terrorists. Nigeria continues to be significantly impacted by terrorism and violent extremism, ranking as the 8th most impacted country globally according to the 2023 Global Terrorism Index. Let's dive now some more into the issue. I'm now being joined on the program by Abdulaziz Ghazali, who is a cybersecurity expert. Abdulaziz, thank you very much for coming on the program. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Yeah, so when you hear the EFCC chairman make that kind of comment that, some young people, because they are quite, cryptocurrency, of course, attracts very young people, that some of them do not know they are being used for terrorism financing. What's your take on that?
So I think the chairman is actually spot on, because the truth of the matter is that cryptocurrency is so, there's anonymity in the whole spectrum. So most of the time, you as a trader, you are just concerned about the person that wants to exchange a particular Bitcoin for another at a particular value. Without knowing the intention, because the business ecosystem does not talk about details. And if you look at our conventional banking system, when you go to the bank to deposit or to lodge your money, sometimes there's always the need for you to fill details, right? Yeah. So if you look at the cryptocurrency ecosystem, most importantly, you have a distributed ledger where Bitcoins move from one spot to the other are being analyzed. But the purpose of the funding is not actually paid attention to. And people, especially malicious actors, have seen this as an avenue for them to carry out their illegitimate acts. I will also make reference to funding, because most of the malicious actors, not only terrorism, illicit funding cut across so many spectrum, terrorism, drug trafficking, human trafficking, all these needs to be funded. So people use cryptocurrency as an ecosystem to do a lot of that because of the blockchain that is embedded in it.
Now the question then is, you look at the uproar. The government, of course, has been going against, have been going after, most of these crypto platforms. As at today, what we know is that, for instance, trade in peer-to-peer has been deactivated on most of the crypto platforms. Now, how far do you think initiatives like that can actually go in checking some of this crime, if you like, that is perpetrated with the crypto with cryptocurrencies? Thank
you very much, my brother. I think that's a very relevant question, because if you look at the whole world atmosphere in terms of cryptocurrency, Nigeria is not only taking the lead. We're actually joining the world powers to see that these people are clamped down. The United States of America, for example, they clamp down so many operators in the cryptocurrency market, because the cryptocurrency is trying to take or to reshape our exchange ecosystem. Before now, we talk about commodity trading. Before we have this means of legal tender, people can trade what they have for what they do not have. And what gives a currency backing is the legal tender, in terms of the government is backing it. So what cryptocurrency, for example, Bitcoin has done, Ethereum and some other variables in that pipeline, is to see that you don't need the conventional financial system. So you can do what we call P2P, that's person-to-person transactions. And you see, the market is actually based on speculation. And if you recall, one of the things that have affected our currency badly is the speculative market,
yes,
where people feel that they can determine the exchange rate of our currency. And I think if you look at the report of EFCC, we are made to understand that over $26 billion cannot be accounted for.
Yes.
You see, it's not that we cannot trade the money, but for what? For what purpose? So I think EFCC, they are not doing badly with respect to this, and I think it's actually a thumb up to them. So even the Security Exchange Commission, they have also they have said that P2P trading should be delisted from the platform, and people have also reacted because there are people in that system that are making millions and billions of naira, and these are also made at the expense of common Nigeria, ordinary Nigeria on the street. We all know that dollar rate determine most of our economic activities in Nigeria. But let's cut back that. The reason why we are here is to see or to discuss how this has been used to finance terrorism, how this has been used to finance illicit activities in our country. And I think the EFCC cannot get it right better than now. And what they have done, because the truth of the matter is that most of the time we all complain that you see people that are involved in terrorism, people that are involved in kidnapping, we complain that they cannot trace the funding.
And we understand some kidnappers have actually gotten to that level where they demand payment now in cryptos.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's true, because, for instance, there's a particular film I may make reference to in Netflix. It's called, I think it's B13. There are these two guys that are running fintech company, and a Bitcoin was exchanged for a particular terrorist act. It was unknown to them, because one thing about the cryptocurrency ecosystem is that you have somebody that is willing to trade, just like the normal market. You have someone that is willing to trade, and you have someone that is willing to buy. So what we are saying in essence is that people use the anonymity in that particular ecosystem to trade their fund. And let me also shock you, people use cryptocurrency system to raise donation. A particular terrorist group, sometimes in the past, they revealed that, okay, people can make donations to them through a particular wallet account. They stated the wallet account. That is why government can go after them, and they will actually calm down. But people have now said, okay, we only call for donation. We will not reveal our digital wallet. So you see, the ecosystem, government cannot afford to leave it. If you recall, in 2021, the CBN gave an order that our financial institutions, they should freeze any accounts that are associated to cryptocurrency. But late in December 2023, they reversed that. But that actually, people use the opportunity to carry out a lot of illicit funding activities.
Now, the question I want to ask you as a cybersecurity expert, what exactly is the attraction for cryptos? What is that attraction that, like fiat currency is not offering? Because there must be something that crypto offers that what I'll call the normal system now, or the usual system doesn't offer, that crypto is offering. And that's why it's attracting people, especially young people, to it.
Let me tell you the simple truth. Before we dive into the cybersecurity aspect of it, let's talk about the economic interest. Right? You see, it is not esoteric to state that most of our financial institutions are making huge profit. And if you look at the financial statement, you can see that they're making enormous profit. So what cryptocurrency, especially using the P2P, has done is to eliminate the financial sectors. And the profit that is made by these people can be transferred to individuals. So that's the economic interest. And for every activities, I can tell you for free that it is only driven by economic interest. Most of the superpowers, most of the issues we have between one country to the other is both social and economic interest. So if people feel that if I invest a particular amount of naira in this Bitcoin and I'm going to get this, you understand? And don't forget that even FIRS has gone after these people that are evading tax, right? So because the government have realized that apart from using them to fund terrorism, illicit financing. People are making enormous profit, my brother. And I can tell you for free that we cannot continue to sleep on the wheel. Government needs to go after this fund and to see how they can be regulated, because for every economy that rely basically on black money, it won't last. And that is why you will see that our development roadmap needs to be sustainable, and cryptocurrency as an option cannot sustain any economy. And I believe that's why the government is also after this. Now, back to your question. You see, everybody, especially any concerned person about his fund, wants to hide his money. The interest is not the most important thing now.
Yeah, they want to hide.
Right? Because why do we take your money to bank? You want to guide against theft. And we have seen in the past where some banks they go under the water and people lose their fund. So the advent of corporate governance has assured us that our money is safe with the bank. So, but the reason for cryptocurrency is to see how people can hide their fund. But the purpose of hiding that fund, I can tell you for sure that cryptocurrency only fund about 5 to 20% of terrorism. Cash funding of terrorism is still large, and
really?
The worst statistic is there. In fact, cryptocurrency jumped from 5% to 20% of recent. So the 80% of terrorism and illicit funding is still by cash and some other means of funding. But the reason why people go through cryptocurrency is this: people have digital wallet, right? Some people don't have evil intention. But the fact that I don't want the FIS to go after me. I don't want the EFCC to go after me, that was my source of income. It's not that I'm bad, but I just want to be enjoying my money. So people invest in Bitcoin. And what it does is that if you have a wallet account and also have a wallet account, they can trace the transaction. But the fact that they cannot trace my name as Ghazali, they will only be seeing numbers and character. So identity is hidden under cryptocurrency. So what people do is to hide their identity using Bitcoin, using any other form of cryptocurrency product. And it's also interesting for me to talk about what we call encryption. You see, cryptocurrency, they encrypt people's identity. You understand? So the communication channel is also hidden. So the only thing you are only seeing the transfer of money.
And even cybersecurity experts like yourselves cannot crack that.
No, they can't. So the truth of the matter is that, like what happened between Israel and Palestine, right? So it has been proven that they have been funded using cryptocurrency. So it is not impossible for us to crack them down. But the only issue is this: if you have thousands of them out there, it takes you time to crack 1,000. So you may be able to crack 100 in few minutes, but cracking 1,000 might take time. But regulation, through regulatory body, you can better save the world. So what we are doing is to work with regulatory body like EFCC and some other regulatory arm to see that even the CBN is a regulatory body. So they have to come up with stringent criteria. You see, before you operate in that space, you have to be licensed. And don't forget that like 10 African countries, they have banned cryptocurrency in their ecosystem. And Nigeria also is not shying away from that.
Do you think we should ban it?
Well, so there should be a trade-off. We can't shy away from the fact that digital economy is the way forward. And if you are talking about digital economy, you have to talk about digital currency as well. But the most important is that it should be well regulated, and the government should have absolute control over it. Because even in the US, it is not banned, but it is well controlled. In the UK, it is not banned, but it is well controlled. So what we should be talking about is how we can better regulate and control it. It's not to ban it, because we can't shy away from the future.
And the truth is that to actually regulate something, you need to really understand
absolutely
it. And the truth is, with the way I see it, it appears even our authorities do not have a complete understanding of this system, cryptocurrency as a whole, so as to guide regulation. But it's still a work in progress anyway.
So I think to comment on that, the absolute variable for government is political wherewithal and the political will. I can see the political will from this EFCC chairman that is trying to clean the economy, because one of the responsibility of EFCC and every law enforcement agent like Interpol is to see that illicit funding is reduced to the barest minimum. And I can tell you for free that the way forward is to have a bold statement. If you don't have a bold statement, even if you have the knowledge, if you have the technical skills, if you don't have the political will, you can't do it. But with what we are seeing, I think they are letting us know that they are ready to counter fund terrorism. Because one of the things, see, the easiest way to trace fund, because in the cybersecurity world or in the criminology world, we are meant to understand that for every crime there is always a trace. So, and that is why you see that you cannot move money from one account to another account without any trace. And in accounting, we say for every debit entry, there's a corresponding credit entry. So in the digital wallet system also, there is always a trace. Somebody is moving from a particular digital wallet to another digital wallet, right? But the problem with the cryptocurrency world is you cannot get the identity except if you use specialized and sophisticated softwares. Yeah.
Abdulaziz Ghazali, cybersecurity expert, thank you very much for coming on the program, and thank you for that enlightment on cybersecurity and, of course, the issue of cryptocurrency. Thanks a lot for coming on the program.
It's always my pleasure to be here. Thank you, my brother.
All right, that's how much we can take on the program this week. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.